Let's be real. Your schedule sucks right now and it's keeping you fat and broke and making other people rich. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give you back the power, and I'm going to give you a schedule that you can use in order to become more aesthetic, which means athletic and aesthetic, and also become more rich. And by the way, keep in mind, this is the exact schedule that I followed in order to craft my physique, play D1 football, as well as build my business. So just sit back and stay tuned, because I'm going to give you all the 4 blocks, the 4 different ways that you can structure your day in order to give you the most athletics and give you the most riches. So the first block is going to be the creation block, and this is literally when you create and just move the needle forward. It's really not complicated, okay? You know, you create something, whether it be art, whether it be a video like this or something, maybe you're writing or something. On top of that too, you can also, do lever moving, needle moving task on your business and your job. Show up early and whatnot. Essentially, this block is literally just dedicated to you doing your most important work. Simple. In the ideal time to do this, the best way to set this up is to actually do your creation block first thing to start off the day, meaning that you wake up and you get right to work. Okay, if you wake up and scroll, if you wake up and consume content, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. Just click off the video. You're cooked. You're cooked. You're Chef Boyardee. Let's be real. No, you need to wake up and put your, your brain points. You need to put your mental energy into whatever your most important work is, because this is when you have the most energy. This is when you're fully recharged. But on top of that, you're still kind of in like this lucid state between the dream state and the awakened state, where like you're very creative, and it's just you're able to create way better pieces of art, way better pieces of whatever you want to create. So ideally, you want to wake up at 6. And your creation block should really go for a few hours till about 10 o'clock. And obviously, it doesn't have to be just totally creation. It can be creating a little bit and then working on your business or working at your job, or, doing whatever it is that's your most important work though. And you just want to dedicate the first 4 hours of your day when your mind is freshest in order to just moving the needle forward on that. And the way you do that is simple. You create stuff, you work on your business, you show up to your job early, you just print money and just make moves during this time. Essentially, it's really that simple. And a lot of y'all might be wondering, like, if you do this block in the morning, you might be wondering like, oh, like what about a morning routine and whatnot? Look, if you all need a morning routine, go check out the video I made about the morning routine that I used to get me out of a rut. But essentially, just don't be overcomplicating your morning routine. Don't be doing the whole Ashton Hall thing where you wake up and jump in the pool and Saratoga water and banana peels on the face and then fake read the Bible. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. No. Here's what you need to do instead. Literally, just wake up. Take a cool shower to wake you up and literally set off an explosion in yourself of energy. Brush your teeth so you don't smell like a freaking bum, and then just get right to work. That's what I do. I wake up, take a cool shower, bare booty, butt naked. Then after that, brush my teeth and floss my teeth so that I don't just walk around the day feeling nasty. And after that, I literally just get right into my work, which is usually like scripting a video, writing something down, or maybe something else. It's really that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. And most importantly, make sure you have 0 distractions during this block. Because if you got distractions, if you got dogs barking, if you got, random people just running around you trying to ask you questions, it's going to take you out of the flow of what you're doing. And it's going to be no bueno. Simple. So don't do that. Moving on to the second block, which is going to be the training and what I like to call the siesta block. So all this is that you go and train super hard, and then after that you recover in the sun. So this can look like lifting or sprinting for 1 hour and then going out in the sun and doing what you would do inside, but in the sun. You get what I'm saying? So maybe you read outside, maybe you meditate outside, maybe you walk outside, maybe you eat outside. That's just what I do, because I got all the freedom right now. But yeah, I said it to say, during this second block, ideally from about 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., this is just when you want to train, because your body's finally awake. Because me personally, my body doesn't really feel fully awake when I first wake up in the morning. Like, I'm still kind of like groggy and all that. If I had to train first thing in the morning, I just wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy it. And I've done that before. Like back when I was playing football, I would have 6 a.m., 7 a.m. workouts. And eventually your body will adjust. But ideally, I'd rather use like the time when I have the most brain points though on, my task, on the tasks that really matter to me, that move the needle forward in my life, which is of course my business. And something to keep in mind is just keep this in mind, is that the thing that you do first, the thing that you prioritize at the beginning of the day, because it's the priority, it's the first thing you do, that's what's gonna get your most brain points. So I don't want y'all out here wasting your time freaking making breakfast and whatnot, pouring your most potent brain points, the time when you have the most energy, and then making a fucking breakfast. That's stupid, okay? Or maybe you start scrolling on reels and scrolling TikTok. It's like, really? That's where you're gonna use your brain has just fully recovered, your body has just fully recovered, and you're gonna immediately blast it with this cheap dopamine. Do not do that, okay? Just keep in mind though that the first thing you're gonna do is what's gonna get your most energy. So if you train first thing in the morning, you're gonna have some crazy training sessions because eventually your body's gonna adapt and you're gonna get really good at that. If you work early in the morning and create, and, really do that deep work block early in the morning, you're gonna build something great, whether it be with your business, whether it be with your job, whether it be with whatever you're creating. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you do first is what gets the priority access. It's what gets the most potent energy. It's what's going to get your most intentional and focused energy. But yeah, my second block is going to be the training and siesta block. So like I already said, you literally lift and sprint for like 1 hour, maybe like an hour and a half. Then after that, you just go recover in the sun. And me personally, what I'll do is like, I'll go out in the sun. I'll just like meditate. I'll read a book or whatnot. I'll go take a walk around my neighborhood, and I'll also eat outside. And this can take like an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But if you got freedom like your boy, then it's no biggie. So keep in mind though, at the end of this video, I'm gonna give y'all like different routines for like if you work a 9 to 5 and if you go to school. I'll give y'all routines for like if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an athlete. So just chill, okay? I got y'all. And also, by the way, real quick, if y'all want an entire training routine that is structured and it's gonna get you from where you are today to where you want to be, which is your athletic dream body, I have a 90-day athletic transformation. It's called the Aesletic Body Program, and it's gonna get you right. It's the top link in the description below, and it's on pre-sale now. So just go get it for a few bucks before I double and quadruple the price, because it will literally transform your life. Anyways, the third block is gonna be the shallow work block. So this is literally, as it says, this is when you're doing shallower work and also socializing as well. We don't want to skip out on that. So the reason for this, the reason why I put this block here is because ideally this is after you've already done your deep creative work. This is after you've already trained and rested a little bit. And now your mind, it's just not going to be as fresh as it once was at the beginning of the day. We all know that like time low-key speeds up once it goes past noon. After it gets past noon, 1 o'clock, it's like time low-key be going and whatnot. So during this time, you don't want to like be trying to do the most important work because you're just not going to be focused. It's not going to be high quality work. Instead, just do shallow stuff. Respond to emails, make some calls, have a meeting, update your website and whatnot. On top of that too, you want to make sure that you socialize. And the reason I put this in personally kind of for myself, to be honest, because like I'm the type of dude where like I won't socialize with no one. Like you see those memes like, oh, I'm a popular loner, I know a lot of people but not a lot of people know me. Like that's actually me though. That's actually super accurate. Like they low-key made those memes for me. You get what I'm saying? I decided to say that like if you're like me in the sense that like you're not going to interact with people, you're not going to socialize with people if you don't have to, and you could literally just spend like months just on your own grind, on your own wave, please schedule in some time to socialize. Like I do this personally where I'll just like call up family members, I'll call up friends, and I'll just make sure to just keep in contact with people. One, because it's good to maintain relationships with the people that you actually care about in your life. But two, you don't want to lose your people skills, because I've done that before, y'all, and it's no bueno. When I tell y'all, like during COVID for like a year, I ain't talking to no one. I went to college, I had to readjust, and that was painful. Okay, then again, actually like this last year, like 2024 and whatnot, I spent all my time literally just working, hanging with my girlfriend, and it's like look, it was not worth it. Because let me tell you, when you just hanging out with one person all the time, and when you just working all the time, and you're not really going out and socializing, you limit yourself, you limit the opportunities, the experiences you can have. So make sure that you set aside some time in order to socialize, because it's actually super important. You're a human, you need to socialize, simple as that. So like I already said, just during this time, ideally I usually do this from about 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. This is just when you want to do the shallower tasks. Do all that little stuff that doesn't really matter, that doesn't need to be done at the beginning of the day, that you've been putting off till now, and just get it done, so that way you can have the freedom of your mind, so that way you're not thinking about stuff that you got to do. And make sure you socialize and just obtain and maintain and upkeep your relationships. Develop your charisma. Charisma can take y'all a long way in life. Don't think that it's all about just what you know. Sometimes it's about just the type of person you are and who you know, and your charisma and whatnot. That can take you a long way. So yeah, just start practicing your people skills. Talk to everyone. Like when I say talk to everyone, because everyone has something to teach you, everyone has something to offer to you, and it's just a good way to just sharpen that personality sword of yours. But yeah, just keep in mind, a lot of people be sleeping on that. We don't be sleeping on what actually matters over here. Woke. Yeah. And again, it's just a time for me to yo, shut your ass up! This dog is fucking me up. Shut up! Bruh. Alright, so the fourth block and the last block is going to be the training and sleeping block. So It literally says it in the name. This is when you train, and this is also when you sleep. Okay, so the way I've been setting up my days recently is I'll do like a more intense, like a harder, like kind of like not resistance, but just like a real hard training session earlier in the day. So the first training session will be like lifting or sprinting. The second training session, this is when you want to train something competitive, something that involves skill, usually something like a sport. So for me, it's boxing and it's also basketball. For y'all, it might be something different. Maybe you want to go and play tennis. Maybe you want to play pickleball. Maybe you want to play flag football, ultimate frisbee at the end of the day. But I say this to say, if you truly want to get athletic, 2 training sessions a day, it's just the standard. As simple as that. You want to train 2 times a day. One time where you're working more on like building the base of yourself, building that base of athleticism and aesthetics, and then another time where you're working more on just like the actual like skill component, whatever that skill may be. And the reason I say that is just because you don't just want to limit yourself to just like lifting all day or just sprinting all day. You want to make sure that you cover the entire spectrum of fitness and whatnot. So make sure you get something competitive going on at the end of the day, just to also sharpen your competitive nature. And then once you're done training with that, once you've had your fun and whatnot, then just go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Get a quick meal, maybe get some food that's good in protein, get some good carbs like some yams or some rice, some fruit. And like me personally, I don't eat after these training sessions. I don't eat at the end of the day, but you might be different. Your body might be able to handle that. Your body might be cool with that. It might not affect your sleep and whatnot, but yeah, you can like eat and then just get ready for bed. Literally just wind down. So read, write, watch some Netflix or something, clap some cheeks, you know what I'm saying? And just do whatever it is that you normally do to get ready for bed, and then wind down and recover. And the reason why I put this at the end of the day is because for me, this is literally just, it helps me go to sleep. Like by training hard at the end of the day, for one, I use my energy, but I also get to have fun. And then by the time I get back to the crib and like it's time to go to bed, like I'm already ready to go out like a light. Like seriously, I literally boom, my head hits the pillow and I'm out. So it's just a really good way to help with your sleep. And also when it comes to the 4th block, before I forget, remember you want to be in bed by 10 o'clock, so that way you can sleep between like 10 to 6, get 8 hours of sleep. And also keep in mind the hours between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is actually when you get the most restorative and like deepest sleep. So you really want to make sure that you cash in on that. But anyways, we've got to move into like just the different ways that you can structure your routine based on your schedule. So I actually set it up in my notes. So I'm gonna read this because I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a lot to remember. So for the first block, okay, or if you work a 9 to 5, okay, for the first block, ideally you'd actually want to train first thing in the morning. This means that you're gonna get up early, maybe like 6 a.m., maybe even 5 a.m. And yes, you're gonna be one of those people that grinds. And this is just if you want to get athletic and rich. I'm just giving y'all the keys, you know what I'm saying? You don't actually have to do this. But ideally, you want to get up and then train and then use the energy that you gain from training, because keep in mind, when you start training in the morning, it acts as like a way to actually like lock you in. It gives you more energy. You'll start gaining energy. You're not going to be losing energy. Don't fall for that like BS. Don't fall for that. Like that's literally fake news, honestly. Training and working out gives you more energy. It doesn't take your energy away. So ideally, yeah, first block, you train if you have a 9 to 5. Then after that, this is when you do your most important work after, you show up early and whatnot. You start putting in the work, you get on the sales calls, you just do whatever you gotta do if you got a job and whatnot. I'm not gonna lie, I don't work a 9 to 5. I just made this for y'all because I was trying to help. But yeah, so from 9 o'clock to like 1 o'clock, I mean, let's be real, that's when you're getting all your most important work done anyways, because everybody knows that at all 9 to 5s, after you have lunch and whatnot and people have their carb crashes, nothing gets done. Y'all kind of just be BSing. And that's exactly why I kind of set up the BS block of the shallow work. So after you've done your deep, creative, just needle lever moving forward work, this is then when you want to do the shallow work after that. So then just update, do the little admin stuff, just do the little stuff that's not that important, do the menial tasks and stuff. So just quick little recap so far. Block 1, train. So whenever you wake up, go train, and then after that, go to work, do your most important work first, and then do the shallow work afterwards. And then after that, if you're a real athletic beast, then you're gonna get another training session in before you go to bed. So after work, literally just pull up to the rack or something, pull up to the gym, go box, go play basketball, and then after that, maybe have a meal and then go to sleep. And that's a good way to structure your day if you're in the 9 to 5 and you want to be athletic and rich. I know it's not perfect, but like it will work. Like you could find a way to maneuver this. Maybe you have to shorten the first training block. Maybe you have to shorten the last training block. Maybe you lengthen out your creative block or your shallow work block. I don't know. Remember, this is not a lot. This is just guidelines and suggestions for y'all. Y'all the ones at the end of the day that's like really the captain behind this. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you're probably gonna have more freedom, okay? So, you know, you're not like tethered to have to show up to work at a certain time. So because of this, it's gonna be set up a bit differently. Ideally, if you're an entrepreneur, you want your first block to be creating, because that's what you're doing. If you're an entrepreneur, you're creating business, you're creating commerce, you're creating jobs for people. You're a creator, simple as that. So you want to dedicate your first block to creation, ideally between like 6 to 10 p.m. This is what I do. Your second block, this is when you want to train and kind of have a little rest break, because you know you've cooked your mind. Let's be real. Like after I finish this, my mind's gonna be a little cooked, you know, because I'm using a lot of brain points right now and whatnot. So then this is when you train. Like maybe you go sprint or lift. This is what I'll do during this time, and I'll go outside in the sun, because your boy live in AZ, and I'll literally just soak up all the good sun rays. Like I'll read outside, I'll meditate outside, I'll walk outside, I'll eat my meal outside, I literally stretch outside, I literally just do a whole bunch of stuff outside as I recover and also learn at the same time. So this is like my first training block. Then after that, I'll do some shallow work. Like I might go DoorDash, so I got some money that I can pour back into the business and whatnot. I might make some calls and whatnot. I always make calls. I always call people while I'm DoorDashing. I'll always be learning something while I'm DoorDashing. So even though it's shallower work, it's work that doesn't require much brain power, I'm still gaining something out of it. And if you're an entrepreneur, you can maybe you gotta like respond to emails and whatnot. Maybe you respond to comments. I don't know. Just do the shallower work during this time from about 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and also spend some time just exploring and socializing with the people in your life. The last block, especially when you're an entrepreneur, because you really want to have a lot of energy, is you want to train again and then go to sleep. So ideally train something competitive, train something that sharpens that competitive edge. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you probably are pretty competitive, because you know entrepreneurship, business, that's just another arena, okay? You know, you're competing against other businesses, remember that. So just go and train, and ideally train something that gets physical, you know. Train some basketball, train some boxing or whatnot. You know, you want to get physical with it. Of course, you can also do stuff like tennis, you can do stuff like golf, you can do stuff like pickleball or like a flag football or ultimate frisbee. It's all up to you, but ideally you need to make sure that you're training something competitive just to sharpen that edge, as well as help put you to sleep. So that way, you know, if you like have like kind of trouble falling asleep at night like me, because you just got so much energy and you just want to keep working, this is gonna put you to sleep. So then, like I already said, block 4, train, and then do your whole nighttime routine, whatever it may be, and do that, and then go to bed. And then the last thing I'll give y'all is actually, this is the routine I used back when I played football. So the way my day was set up was my first block was actually training. And we would have like super hard training sessions. We might be doing conditioning, we might be doing lifting, we might have practice, you know, whatever it may be. So the first session would always be training. Because it is, the way I would structure my day then is that the second block would be creation. Okay, so during this time, this is when I would work on whatever I was working on. And unfortunately, I used to do like a whole lot of different business models until I realized, like, let me just focus on one thing. So I'll be making TikToks, I'll be trying to drop ship, I'll be trying to like hire people in India to do my work for me. Like I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, but I said it to say, this second block is when you want to use to create. The third block then, this is when you want to train again, ideally. And I'm not talking about training like your body actually, I'm actually talking about training your mind. Like when we played football, it's like film study and whatnot. That was really important to just get back in the film room, study the film, study what you need to work on, study what you can improve on, study the other team and whatnot. So if you're an athlete or something, if you're playing like D1 or whatnot, ideally have a block in here of training, but more mental training, of just like getting your mind right. Simple as that. Because you know, you gotta remember, like if you're an athlete and you're playing and whatnot, you don't want to be like spending your body and like taxing it too much, because you know your body's your greatest asset in that realm of things. Anyways, block 4 then would just be shallow stuff. So literally just do stuff that doesn't matter, like homework and you know, go clap cheeks. Geez, that's like the worst example of things that I could say, but I'm just being real with y'all. Yeah, get what I'm saying? Because let's be real, only the real niggas is still watching this right now. But anyways, yo, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lost the plot and got a little distracted with this video, so my bad on that, y'all. But yo, don't forget, check out the last video I made about how to turn your life into an anime. And seriously, if you made it this far and watched this entire video, I appreciate you, and I'm out. Dooski.